Hello, good morning on this Tuesday and welcome back on HR Nomad TV. Yesterday I've posted already a video on leadership in a crisis, in Corona times in particular. And today you voted for another topic you want to hear about. So today you want to hear about agility in HR and org development. So this is a very interesting topic, and as you know, as a startup consultant and coach, I've been dealing a lot with HR, meaning people development and also organizational development. And today I want to give you a short insight what is important to know about the role of HR in agility right now. In order to explain that, I want to give you some explanations because there's many different versions around and people are getting confused. If we talk about HR, most people think of human resources in the sense we know it from, the past decades, from the industrial era, from the times of production, and we talk about HR as a department. That means the unit, the team that takes care of the payroll, the recruiting, the contracting and keeping policies, etc., etc. So this is what most people have in mind when they talk about HR. But HR has also another meaning. It has the meaning of people. So agile people or the agile companies nowadays speak of people development or people team in the terms of the function. So in order to distinguish the old and the new kind of people determination. So, and also there's a third meaning, people in the sense of the sum of all employees in a company. So the first tricky part about HR is to understand what we're actually talking about. Are we talking about the department, the unit? Are we talking about the role, the function of HR, of people within a team, within a company? Or are we talking about the sum of people, all employees that are considered in a company? So it's three different versions. So the first trick part is to understand that first. And today I want to talk about the role, the function of HR in agility. So as I mentioned before, we're not anymore in the industrial era and we don't need employees as resources anymore because the time has changed. In old times and production times, it was like input, output, and we needed people in order to fulfill a task, like in a production line, in order to get a certain output. That was the aim. And it was like an exchangeable material you need to put into production line in order to get that required output. So, and actually I never liked that terminology of resources, to consider people as a resource. So that's why I named my own name HR Nomad, I translate it not like human resources, rather than human relations, because I think this is what counts, the relations in between. However, this is just a side note, and but the important thing now is we're in the middle of the change. And of course, IT and tech departments know that for a long time we are in a digital era, coming from the industrial era, now in a digital era. That means what is the role of employees now, and what is the new role of people, or the role of HR? And of course, if the conditions change, of course, the roles have to change. It's a logic, let's say. And what I experience now in many companies is they just rename maybe HR manager or HR manager or head of HR, and they transform the name into people. And they're saying head of HR, they say head of people, or they say people manager, workplace manager. But when you look inside, deep inside, you find a lot of old structures and old thinking. So one big flaw maybe is, and I count myself in, I was a very long in the, let's say, sense of HR manager. However, this is why I produce this kind of content, to make an awareness. The old structures, the old thinking of the traditional human resources needs to change here as well. And in order to understand in what sense I'm producing this kind of videos. So first is to understand people or employees are not a resource anymore, because you have technology, you have IT, you have tools, you have tech that is taking over all the traditional standardized tasks that in former times needed to be done by people. Now we have artificial intelligence and etc., learning systems, etc., KI in German. So we will not be needing people anymore in order to fulfill a task. So now the question is, why do we need people then? Or are we making ourselves redundant? This is like a fear many people have, and that's maybe one of the reasons why some people are resisting this kind of change. So the thing is, no, we're not making ourselves redundant. It's just a change. That means we don't need people anymore in order to fulfill standardized tasks, because we have systems taking over this kind of duty for us, making it easier for us. But we will need people, and also, let's say, the function of taking care of people, in order to provide a source of creativity and innovation. Okay, I repeat that. So we need people for their creativity. We need people for their innovation, because this is something you cannot standardize. And we all are still, having so much talents which are unrevealed. Now it's the time to reveal them, and everybody of us has a special in-depth knowledge, and this is very valuable now to the new kind of companies we are maybe experiencing in the future. So what is the role of the function of people or former HR now? So it means not to ensure anymore the standards, not to ensure the administration anymore. That's gone. Let that be the system. Let that deal the system with. The new function now is to ensure that all the sources and that the employees will need are in the team. So you're, let's say, a proactive creator of the new kind of workplace that is needed in order to bring out the talents of your people out the best. So you ensure to have the space, the room, the facilities that they need in order to bring up all that creativity they have. So this means a total mind shift. So the perception of the old human resource and human resources was rather being an administrator, a controller, a gatekeeper for labor law and all these policies, etc. Of course, this is still something we need to take care of, but there's a shift. It's now more a proactive role, rather than a reactive role. So it's a proactive role, a creative role also in this kind of function, in order to anticipate what the team will need, to have always 1 or 2 years in front of them or next to the teams, understand what they need. You're a facilitator. You are like a mentor, like a coach, and you provide the development they need in order to succeed, in order to bring out their best creativity and innovation. For example, in personal development coaching, you can provide more design thinking methods. You can key is communication, so you can ensure the processes are aligned. They're helping them to communicate, to network, to bring up more communities, to bring up more open structures. to invite more or introduce more innovative techniques they can choose individually in their team. There's no more standardization, there's more individualization, but you can provide a pool of methods and support, so they can pick it in their individual teams according to the situation. So if you consider the peach model of the network or agile and a maturity state, you could say HR maybe will become like a consultancy unit within the company network. So people can just situationally come and pick up your pool or ask for a consultancy, get some innovation, get some methods, get some input, but they will be the ones that will actually implement it. They will decide what they need on their team in this particular situation, and the standardized operational tasks they will manage themselves together with the tools that are provided. So this is a total mind shift, and for me it is a total revolution. You know, I've been working a lot in, let's say, the standardized HR role, and I'm really grateful to have this experience that helps me a lot to understand businesses from inside, but also to understand what people's needs are. And now it is a time to really shift this kind of understanding into a people's relation role. So now it's time, or my mission here is as well, to support you guys with this kind of understanding and becoming more, let's say, a facilitator and a coach to your team, and bring that mind shift coming from a reactive administrator into a proactive creator of good workplaces for your teams. That's it, the tip for today. I hope that helped. And of course, if you want to ask more in-depth questions, drop me a line here, or of course I'm happy if you subscribe my channel, share it, and let me know. The poll is still going on, where you can vote for this week's topics you want me to talk about. I'm happily answering it and customize my answers up to your needs. So have a good day today, and see you tomorrow. Bye bye.